Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to start with why, be a problem solver, and start small with Simon Sinek and my take on his top 10 rules of success, volume 7. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Start with why.
I discovered that every single organization on the planet, even our own careers, always function on the same 3 levels. Why we do what we do, how we do it, and what we do. And it's based on the biology of human decision making. Every single one of us knows what we do. It's the job we have, you know? We know that. Or if it's a company, it's the products they sell, the services they offer. Some can clearly articulate how they do things, the things that we think make us different or special or stand out from the crowd. But very few people or organizations can clearly articulate why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make money, that's a result. By why, I mean what is your purpose, what is your cause, what is your belief? Why did you get out of bed this morning? You know, why does your company exist? And why should anyone care? And what I learned is all the great leaders, those with the capacity to inspire us, everything from Steve Jobs to Nelson Mandela, regardless of what they do, every single one of them starts with why. They always lead with their purpose. And like I said, it's based on the biology of human decision making. So it's not even my opinion.
Rule number 2, be a problem solver.
The word entrepreneur is bandied about too loosely. That not everyone who owns a small business is an entrepreneur. There are small business owners and there are entrepreneurs.
What's an entrepreneur?
And you can find entrepreneurs in big companies. It doesn't mean that they're small business owners, right? I think entrepreneurs are problem solvers. I think
Rather than risk takers?
Yeah, I think fundamentally there are plenty of risk takers. I think who are entrepreneurs. There's a risk taker if you're a small business owner, right? You went out to start the business, but they're not the same. I don't think. And entrepreneurs are those ones who they're constantly looking to solve problems, and that's where I think they perceive opportunity or the mischief that you describe. I don't think inherently it's a sense of mischief. They're not trying to stir the pot for the sake of stirring the pot. I think that they see something and they're like, we can make that better, or we can fill that hole. And that's very much the way the famous entrepreneurs, the Elon Musks and the Richard Bransons operate. They see gaps. They see things that don't work.
As did Jobs.
As did Jobs. They see things that could be better.
Rule number 3, start small.
I had the marketing business, lost my passion for what I was doing. That crisis was the spark that helped me find this thing called the why and then define the golden circle. And I fell in love with this idea and would literally go to my friends' apartments and give talks to their friends about this thing called the why, and I would help people find their why for $100 on the side. That's how it began.
Okay.
And people just kept asking me to speak, and I kept saying yes. So I was actually giving the talk for about 3 years before any book or TED Talk.
Gotcha.
And that's when I abandoned my marketing business, because when I realized I could make a living doing this, that people will pay me to speak and will also invite me to come and consult, I guess. But as it started to gain popularity, then the question was, what do I want to do? And I made the conscious decision not to build a consultancy because I didn't want, for me, spreading the message was much more important. So I sort of took on the identity of sort of a modern day preacher. I had a purpose, I had a cause, I had a calling, I had something I believed in that I was going to preach, I was going to share it, I was going to stand on my bully pulpit, and I was going to look for followers to help me spread this gospel. I mean, that's really the angle I took. And that's what we've done. And the reason the message has spread is because that's what we decided we would do.
Rule number 4, always be a student.
I consider myself a student in all these things. Like, I don't even consider myself an expert in leadership or any of the stuff that I even write about. I could consider myself a student. And though my learning may be more advanced than some people, I show up every single day to see what I can learn.
But isn't that a trait of a great leader, is that they never say, finished, done, I'm a great leader, they're constantly learning?
Well, the best leaders that I've ever met don't consider themselves experts. They are all sort of, they all believe there's room to grow. And no matter how senior or how advanced, they have this sort of childlike curiosity.
Yeah.
They don't always agree with everything, but they want to
Yeah.
they want to hear people's ideas, and they lean in, and they tend to ask a lot of questions.
Also, if you want to have more motivation, self-love, and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want.
I would rather take the risk of walking out, knowing that I might get moved in a way that I've never experienced before, more than just go and have a nice night out and see something that I know is good.
But I'm interested in your opinion. Let's go around the room. It's too late.
Rule number 5, find a vision.
Society and folks like me put an unfair pressure on people to have a vision,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's true. We're not all Steve Jobs, and we don't all have big world-changing visions, to your point. I do believe, however, you can find a vision, right? In other words, it doesn't have to be yours. It can be someone else's. We found Martin Luther King. We found Mahatma Gandhi. We found Steve Jobs. We found Richard Branson, Elon Musk, the visionaries. And people go, I love his vision. So organize your business around that, right? You don't have to have a vision, but I do believe you have to find one. People find it in religion, You follow whatever you follow, right? You become a follower of. So you can say, and you can say theirs is yours. I believe in that. And we're organizing our company around helping to build that world.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you have to have one. I do believe you have to find one.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it doesn't have to always operate at a macro level. It absolutely can operate at a micro level, right? It can be the way you raise your family, the way you treat your friends.
Rule number 6, learn to delegate.
I think the difference between an entrepreneur who cannot achieve scale, which is different from success. You can make a ton of money, but that's not scale. It's just money, right? Versus being able to cross that little chasm and find that tipping point where it can really gain scale is the ability to let go. I'd been chief cook and bottle washer. I had done every job. And so when I started needing help because I could no longer do every job, I didn't have the time or the energy, I wanted to tell everybody how I used to do it and have them do it that way. That's about like assigning tasks. That's not assigning responsibility. That's not letting go. And it was a slow, uncomfortable process. It's not like tomorrow morning I'm just going to let go. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It's a very uncomfortable process. I assume you use the analogy of this is your baby. I assume it's something like when your kids grow up and leave the house, or when they become old enough to drive and they gain some independence. Like we'd like to tell them what to do, what to eat, when to go to bed, when to have a shower, but you kind of lose that. And some parents struggle with that, and it creates tension in the relationship with their kids. And some parents slowly embrace that their kids are adults, and it's the same kind of transition where people come on and you realize that they care and that they're smart and that they're good at what they do and that they want to learn, and so they want to do things they've never done before. Also, they don't have to be experts in everything. And you let go a little bit and they do an amazing job, and you let go a little bit and then you let go a little bit and they screw it all up, and you say, okay, try again. And the more they feel that you care about their success, the more I started to feel that I cared about the success of those around me. It became very easy for me to simply say, just take care of this, and whatever happens is fine, and every decision you make, I love.
Rule number 7, redefine how you think about passion.
The problem with passion, people gave me the same stupid advice. Do what you love. Thank you. Thanks. Find your passion. Like, what am I supposed to do with that advice?
Right.
And what I learned is that passion, like profit, is a result. When we commit ourselves to some higher purpose, some higher cause, passion is the result. When we work hard for something we don't believe in, it's called stress. When we work hard for something we do believe in, it's called passion. Passion is not the entry point, it's at the exit point. So the question is not to find your passion or find the thing you're passionate about. The question is, what do you believe? The question is, what are your ideals? What are your values? And where are the places in which those people or those organizations share your values, share your beliefs? Who is articulating a vision of a world that you would like to live in? Push yourself in those directions, be around those people, align yourself with those organizations, and what you will find is you show up every day with passion.
Rule number 8, find your courage.
I've learned that courage is not some deep internal fortitude, that you don't dig down deep and find the courage, That courage is external. Courage comes from the relationships we have with those around us. a partner in business, a personal relationship, our team, right? That's why we want to build good cultures, because our team believes in us, which gives us courage to do difficult things. A trapeze artist, a world-famous trapeze artist, would never try a brand new death-defying act for the very first time without a net, right? Now, all that courage, they're the world's greatest trapeze artists, but they need something external before they do something very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's the same for the rest of us. So when we have someone who says, I believe in you, I got your back, even if this doesn't work out, I'm here with you.
Rule number 9, just do your best.
People would come up to me and say, how are you going to do another TED Talk as successful as the first one? And the answer was, I'm not. That was an accident. I won the lottery. Like, I won the lottery, and I can't plan to win the lottery again. Like, that's not how it works. And the success of Start With Why, again, like, I can't plan that. Like, you can't plan for something that was an accident. So I had actually completely divorced myself of any notion that I had to produce something that was better or more successful than the first work. And so when I set out to write Leaders Eat Last, the only goal was to share every lesson that I'd been learning on the topic of trust and cooperation, and do the best job I can of communicating those ideas with literally no concern or thought whether it would be more successful than the first one. I didn't mind. I didn't care. And I feel that way about all my work, which is, the why has sort of gone off and done its own thing. And it's like my kid leaving the house. I'm like, just so proud of it.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is be a real team player.
Bad teams work in the same place, good teams work together. I love that. It says so much.
The word team is so bandied about so easily. Like, this is my team. It's like, no, you just happen to work in the same office. You're assigned to the same product. But do you love each other? Do you trust each other? Do you care about each other? Will you sacrifice for each other? Do you take real joy in seeing your friends, your colleagues, your teammates have success? Or are you bitter and angry that they got promoted before you? Do you mind that you sometimes don't get the credit? That's a real team. There's real love there. The rest, I think, are just colleagues.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Simon on how to find your creative process that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, where do you need to just do your best? Number 2, what do you need to delegate this week? And number 3, what big idea can you just start small on today? And if you promise to take action after watching this video, we don't just watch videos anymore, we do something after watching them. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments, make that promise to yourself, and then get to work.
I'm very envious of writers with discipline, who treat it like a job from 9 to 5, or set a goal every day of writing, 1,000 words, 2,000 words, and they do that. That's not my process. My process is best defined as days of guilt and self-loathing, punctuated by hours of sheer brilliance. And the problem is I don't know when those hours will strike. And so I will sit at home and watch TV and hate myself for not getting any work done. And I won't go out for dinner in case one of these things strikes. And then I sit at home and watch TV and say I should have gone out for dinner, then I would see my friends. And then the next night I go out for dinner, and then I have an idea and I'm writing on tablecloths. And it's more of a creative, mad process than it is a disciplined process.
If you want more Simon Sinek, check out the top 50 rules video I made on him. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want.
Success is a feeling.